It is 200 years since the publication of the novel Persuasion by one of England's greatest writers, Jane Austen. Well, now her work has inspired a group of women from Pakistan to put together a series of short stories called Austenistan. Our correspondent Shabnam Mahmood reports.
A traditional English tea at the Dorchester Hotel in London, organised by women from the Jane Austen Society of Pakistan, which has over 1,000 members. They feel the themes of Jane Austen are very relevant to Pakistani women today.
A lot of times it is still considered a man's world. Austen actually wrote a great deal about reality and financial reality. And if you look at life in Pakistan today, it's very, very similar. Women have very limited financial emancipation, and because of that reason, people feel like they can control the women in their families.
So inspired by stories from 19th century England, they've now decided to write their own novel.
The ladies are in London to launch their book called Austenistan. It's a collection of short stories inspired by the English writer, but based on their experiences of Pakistani life.
NIDA read a passage from her own story.
A fact she was only too aware of. Her younger sister hadn't taken her looks, and so as a girl, all her mother's hopes had ridden on Saira. She'd been painstakingly instructed.
Anyone who's read Jane Austen and lives in Pakistan knows weddings and the marriage market, this obsession with who, a girl is going to marry, and is she going to marry a class above.
1, 2, 3, go. 1.
The literary group, which was set up 2 years ago, regularly meet in cities across Pakistan, sometimes wearing clothes from Jane Austen's time. Through their activities and the sale of the book, the women hope to raise money for children's education in Pakistan.
They very cleverly take themes and characters from Jane Austen's work and then are showing how they're just so relevant today in a culture which of course is 200 years different but in many ways has similarities.
It's unlikely Jane Austen could have predicted her books would still be making an impact such a long way from home, more than 200 years after her death. Shabnam Mahmood, BBC News.